What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the stock market had a very strong bounce back day today. S&P 500 up 34 points, up 1%. The Dow Jones up 140 points, up about 0.5%. And the NASDAQ, the tech stocks, guys, they crushed it. NASDAQ up over 200 points, up about 2% on the day. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over the top stocks that I'm looking to buy as we're wrapping up September and heading into October here in 2020. And I also want to share with you guys what I did today. What stocks am I currently involved with? And in general, where my head is at. Am I thinking this is a bull trap? Could this be a bull trap? Or is this rally legit? Is this rally going to get us back to those all-time highs that we saw a couple of weeks ago? So a lot to go over in this video. If you guys find value, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to join all of our free groups down below, the Discord, the Facebook, and claim that free stock. Why not? It's free money. It's valued up to $1,600 from Webull. All you have to do is deposit $100 using my link, and you get a free stock, and I also get a free stock since it is an affiliate link. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. Again, today was a bounce back day, and if you guys have been following my previous couple of videos, well, you shouldn't be surprised that this happened because we talked exactly about this, and we've said the markets have been very volatile. The S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, and heck, even the Russell 2000, they've been zigzagging, pretty much up for a couple days, down aggressively for 2-3 days, followed by 2-3 days of upwards movement, then down for 2-3 days. I mean, this is exactly what the markets have been doing, and we'll start off here with the S&P. Take a look. I mean, ever since September kicked off, 35.80 we went down to about 33.30. We rallied for a day or two, back up to the 3400s, then back down to 3300, then back up to 3400. So this is not too surprising. The fact that we hit 32.20 like we talked about in yesterday's video, right? And pulling up this 4-hour chart, you guys can see 32.20 is a big level of support stemming back from the high back in the beginning of June. You guys can see 32.20, 32.30 was that high. So the fact that we gapped down to 32.20, we held it. I believe we did hold it yesterday heading into the close. Yup, we did. The fact that we rallied off of it and closed under 32.80, which is another big level, that showed me how strong of a resistance support 32.20 was and how big of a buy zone it was. And the second that we popped above 32.80 today, that was a good sign for the bulls. That told me that, okay, we broke 32.80 resistance. Now it's looking to hold as a support. And in the short term, we could be rallying up to 33.30, which it seems like we did exactly that today, guys, right? Exactly that is what we did today. So at this point, are we completely out of the downtrend? Let me pull up this hourly chart so you guys can see it even better. The truth is, no, we're not. That's the truth. We hit 32.20. It got oversold at that point. And remember, we said it's been going down for 2 days, up for 2 days, down for 2 days. It's been zigzagging, right? So it saw about 3 days in a row of just slaughter, guys. You know, if the market was getting killed for 3 days in a row, so we got oversold. And we saw the rally yesterday again, which brought in a lot of momentum, and it continued today. So at this point, yeah, we saw this little rally, and this could end up being a bull trap. That's the truth. At this point in time, this could be a bull trap because we're still under the 50 SMA, we're still under the 180 SMA here on the hourly chart, and we're still under 33.30. Yeah, we broke 32.80, we rallied up to 33.15, but we're still under that big level of resistance, which we held as a support pretty much all of last week of trading. So at this point, until the bulls get us out of 33.30, out of this 50 SMA, I think this could be a bull trap, quite honestly. So for that reason, I didn't add heavily into any positions today. I actually took some profits, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But at this point, I'm not looking to force anything. I'm letting the markets do its thing because I understand that this trend could very well end up continuing down with this zigzag volatile pattern that we've been seeing over the past couple of days. It could very well do exactly what we're seeing here on the hourly chart as I've drawn by this little arrow. Take a look. Tomorrow, let's say we don't hit 33.30. Let's say we gap down. And heck, the futures now, guys, they're actually red. S&P's down 4 points. NASDAQ's down 45 points after hours. And the Dow, let's take a look at Dow futures. Are they up 40 points? Seems like the Dow futures, if I'm looking at the right ones here, yes, I am looking at the right ones. They're up 40 points. So at this point, the futures are a bit undecided, but if we end up selling off, watch out for 32.80. If that breaks, we could very well hit another lower low in the S&P, and that's the danger here. That is why I'm saying it could be a bull trap. Be careful. But on the flip side, if 33.30 breaks, if we get another gap up tomorrow like we saw today, we break that resistance, in the short term, I could see the S&P push even more. I'll be quite honest. I can see it go from 33.30 up to 33.80, and that's going to be another big test. Right around 33.80, that's a big resistance, and also at about 34.30. So it's not out of the woods quite yet. It's not out of the woods quite yet, and we've been saying that a lot here on the channel, and I'll continue to say it until we are out of the woods, guys, right? Until we're out of the woods. And let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? And it pretty much transcends across the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones as well. And again, the NASDAQ crushed it, up almost 2% today, up $200, but we're still in this little downtrend over the past couple of trading days. Yeah, we hit 10,600. That was a lower low in the downtrend. We were very overdue for a bounce back at that point. The RSI was oversold, so it makes sense that we hit that point. We rallied up today and yesterday from 10,600 up to about 11,000. That makes sense to me, and a good sign here is that 11,000 did hold. That's a good sign for the bulls, right? That means for me that, take a look at this arrow, we might go from 11,200 roughly where we are now, maybe up to, let's say, the mid 11,000s to test that 180 SMA and that resistance from last week, right? I think that's possible here in the short term. And at that point, it's going to be a very big telling sign at what the market's going to do. If we get rejected here by the NASDAQ, we start to go lower, that could be where we see a bull trap. But if the NASDAQ plows through 11,500, in my opinion, that's going to be a very, very big momentum shift in the market. And we're already seeing tech push, and we'll talk about tech here in a little bit, but I'm thinking, we could see a huge change in direction in the next couple of days. These next couple of days, quite honestly, the rest of this week is going to be huge in terms of overall direction. So watch out here on the NASDAQ. And like the S&P, it could be a bull trap, guys, so don't get too excited. If we get rejected here at 11,500, 11,300, 400, we very well could go down lower, especially as we're in pretty rocky times, election coming up and so forth here in the U.S. So be careful. But then again, guys, I'm playing offense, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but the way to play defense is to have cash, whether it's in U.S. dollars, whether you're a gold guy, you like having some reserve, some cash in gold. That's a good idea right now, in my opinion, in these volatile times. And the Dow Jones, let's pull it up. Dow Jones up 140 points. And today and yesterday, we broke 27,500. We filled the gap down to the mid 26,000s like we talked about in previous videos. We called that out. And at this point, we're seeing some support around 27K. That's a good sign. We saw a nice little bounce back at that point. So for tomorrow, watch and see. Do we fill the gap up to 27,500? That could be where we test tomorrow. If we break 27,500, I think in the short term, yeah, the Dow Jones could run back up maybe to 28,000, but it could still be a bull trap, guys, even if it rallies up in the short term to that point, because at that point, if we get rejected at 28,000, a lot of bulls could get suckered in, and we might go back down to test, let's say, the low 27,000s, mid 26,000s again. So the moral of the story is, yeah, we had an amazing bounce back day today. Tech was great. I made money in all of my tech holdings today. I locked in some profits as well. It's great. It's a great day, but we're still not out of the woods. This is simply a little bit of a bounce back in terms of this trend. And again, we've been seeing this zigzag pretty much. It's been going up, it's been going down. So it's not quite there yet, but it is exciting to see a couple of green days now piling up and some bounce back movement in the charts. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think in the comments. What are your thoughts as always? Now let's talk about what I personally did today. And I already said I took some profits, but what did I take profits in? And if you guys are in the Discord chat, you probably know this. If you're not, make sure to join it. It's linked down below, free of charge to join. Same with that Facebook group. I ended up taking profits in Shopify today, guys. Shopify is one that I bought in on the weakness. I forget exactly what day. It doesn't really matter. I got in at 9:13, so it might have been maybe this day. It was last week. I ended up getting into Shopify, and I held a bit through some pain there. As it got down to 839, whatever, I held through some pain, but I ended up coming out on top today. I ended up selling out at $937, so that was a pretty good profit there. Let me show you guys percentage basis from 913 up to about 937. It was a little bit under 3%, maybe just around 3% of profit there on Shopify, so I'm very happy with it. And actually, some news came out about Shopify here after hours. I didn't jump too deep into it, but I saw it in the Discord chat. It's right here. Shopify reports recently became aware of an incident involving the data of less than 200 merchants, something with the FBI getting involved. Am I making that up? I believe it was something like that, and so forth. And that ended up shooting the stock down from 956. So yeah, I did leave some money on the table as it did rally from 937, where I got out, to 956. But that's okay, guys. It happens. You can't lock in all of the profit all of the time. The goal as a trader is to hop in and out and get your piece of the pie. Not all of the pie. You can't get all of the pie. Maybe sometimes you get lucky, you time the bottom, you time the top, you get all of the pie, but it doesn't happen every time. It actually happens a very small amount of the time. So the idea is to get in and out, get a nice little piece of the pie, and that's exactly what I did. And now it's actually trading right around where I sold out after hours, right around 940. So that's interesting. And just because I sold out doesn't mean that I'm bearish Shopify at this point. I just wanted to lock in some profits, raise some cash in the portfolio, and maybe sift some money back into Apple, maybe even Microsoft at this point. Those are two that I actually want to go deeper into and jump with some capital, especially into Microsoft, since I don't own this as a swing trade at this point. But yeah, Shopify, I'm out of that. Took a nice profit there, and I probably will re-enter this one if it does break above 950, 960. We'll see what ends up happening there. And I'm still in Apple, AAPL, and this is one that I've honestly built, and I want to continue building it into a big swing position. I think Apple, and this is just me, guys, do your own due diligence, do your own research. I think Apple is going to bounce back immensely. Will it go back to 130, 135, 140? I think so, yes. I think eventually it's going to get back to that level, and that is why I've been loading the boat. I added initially at 125, but I went even heavier on Friday at $108.50. So my average cost is right around 115, 16, 17, that general area. And if this thing, like I said before, if the market is in a bull trap and we do see lower prices, I'm just going to add more to Apple, guys. If it goes under 100 somehow, I'm probably going to double up on my position, take some of that Shopify money, added into Apple, and that's just the truth. That's what I'm looking to do here. I'm looking to build this up to a pretty big swing position. And Amazon, guys, is panning out. Amazon, when I saw it under 3,000, I was like, man, I can't believe Amazon's under 3,000. We talked about it in these videos. We talked about it in the Discord chat. Amazon under 3,000 and heck under 2,900. I think that's a very, very good price. And yeah, is it overvalued? Maybe in historical metrics, it could be. But in this current market we're in, with the sell-off in tech being pretty extreme at this point, like 20% in the past couple of weeks, I think this could be a momentum play, a play back up to the mid-3,500s. That's what we've been calling it, right? And guess what? Today, it was upgraded by Bernstein, which it's a firm, I'm assuming. I'm not too sure exactly, but that's good. That's affirming what I've been saying, which is nice. Which is nice to hear. They actually upgraded it to outperform from, I believe it was at market perform or whatever. Now it's at outperform, and they actually put a price target of $3,400 on it. So that's good. Amazon was up 6% on this news, and I'm in at $3,010, guys. So I'm up over $110 per share on my position, so I'm very happy about it. I didn't lock in profits because I think we're going to go higher ultimately, but again, like Apple, like the markets in general, this could be a bull trap. If the markets sell off, we might see lower prices in Amazon, and like Apple, I'm going to buy into it. I'm going to buy more, and I want to make my main swings, Apple and Amazon. I think these two companies at this point are strong. I think they're bound to bounce back. And I want to add more into them. So Apple, Amazon, I'm still in those. Shopify, locked in profits there. And I'm still in Workhorse. And speaking of Workhorse, guys, thank God, man, it's finally selling off. This is finally what we're seeing, and I've been waiting for this. Workhorse hit the mid-30s. It got very frothy, and maybe not from a long-term valuation perspective. That's debatable, but taking a look at this chart, yeah, it's frothy, man. It was overbought. RSI was off the page, and it went straight from 20 to 31 with very minimal pull downs. And today we got the pull down. We got 11% of a red day, and now from the top, it's actually down over that. It's over 17% in the red from the peak. And it seems like we are holding the 50 SMA as of now, despite being down actually after hours as well. It's down to the low 26s. So this is good. I'm not scared at all. I'm actually excited about this. I'm in at $23 per share, and I want to add more into this. This will be, in my opinion, for me at least, at the top of my buy list tomorrow, especially if we break 26, get into the low 25s, mid 25s. I'm probably going to buy, I don't know, maybe 100, 150, 200 shares, add a little bit more to my position and slowly build it up. And especially if it gets to 20. Oh man, if it got to 20, I'd probably add a couple hundred shares at that point to really beef the position up. That's just because I believe in Workhorse, and it's just been a beast of a stock, and it trades on the technicals very well, and I believe 20, low 20s. If it gets there, it's going to find a strong base and move higher from there. So, and especially if they get half the USPS contract, or even all of it. At that point, this stock's going to go bananas, so I want to be in it for that, in anticipation of that. So that's really all I'm involved with at this point. Those are the main stocks that I'm in. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? What are you guys doing? I would love to know, as always. And on top of that, like I've been saying, I'm in a lot of cash, guys. I'm in, at this point, like 40 to 50% of my swing portfolio is in cash, in anticipation of maybe lower prices. And cash, guys, is a position. That's what you guys have to understand. Cash is a position, because think about it. If the markets go down, you might lose a couple percentage on your stocks, but you're not losing anything on cash. It's staying at zero. So that's a way to hedge against the markets and mitigate your risk. And we talked about Nike yesterday. And to be honest, guys, this is crazy. I had a mind fart yesterday. I didn't even know Nike's earnings were today. Unbelievable. I didn't even know Nike's earnings were today. And the second I looked at Nike after hours, I was like, holy crap, we called this out at 113 yesterday. How the heck is it trading in the mid 130s now? And I was like, stupid, Stas. They reported earnings. And then I looked at their earnings, and they did very well. They had EPS of 95 cents versus 86 cents a year ago. So they grew there in profitability, and sales came in at $10.6 billion versus the $9.12 billion estimated. So they beat there on sales. EPS is doing well compared to last year, and they're get this, guys, their digital sales, they're up 82% year over year. That is unbelievable. And I believe a bunch of other firms, whatever you want to call them, they actually upgraded the stock earlier, a couple days ago. So that's not really what moved the stock, those upgrades, but it is a good sign to see the upgrades. But what really moved the stock, obviously, is earnings, and I'm assuming that 82% growth year over year in digital sales. So the stock went from 113, 115, where it was yesterday, and it took off like crazy. From where I called it out, it went up to about 130, and that's a gain of about 15%. So I'm actually curious. Let me know in the comments. Did you guys pick up Nike? I personally didn't. Like I said, I didn't pick it up, but I want to know if you did. Did you make a lot of money? I would love to know. And if you did, congratulations. This is unbelievable of a move for Nike. It's up over 12% after hours. That's kind of unheard of with a company. Not saying Nike's a crap company, but I haven't really seen it move like that in a while, if ever at that, to be honest, guys. So what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. And Tesla, guys, Tesla's the number one stock we're going to talk about today, and I'm not going to go into Battery Day in this video because it would make the video way too long, and quite honestly, I want to dive deeper and really make a strong individual video on Tesla Battery Day. I feel like if I just talked about it now very quickly, it would be crappy. I just have to make a single video for it. So watch out for that coming out soon. But overall, just at a glance here, Tesla is down. Tesla was down 5.5% today, down $25, and after hours, it's down even more. It's actually down about $30 here after hours. So it's pretty rough right now for Tesla. After hours, it's down 30, but that actually equates to about 7%. Excuse me, guys, 7%. So this is, we kind of talked about this, right? We talked about how in previous Tesla events, we've seen this before. We've seen the stock, hype up, rally a bit before the event, and then sell off after the event. It's, I guess you can say it's kind of buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing here. And we're seeing it again. And am I turning bearish on the stock? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If anything, this could be a good buying opportunity tomorrow. Maybe if it somehow settles at this 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, it could end up playing off this technical here, this technical spot, guys, at about 380 to 390, right? If it hits this point, it could be a higher low, right? We saw it test at 340, 350 a couple weeks ago, about 7-10 days ago. We saw it test that 180 SMA, and it rallied from 340 to the mid 400s. That's a move of around 25%. So if this holds tomorrow, this could be a very, very good sign. And maybe it's selling off because, Elon was saying it's going to take about 3 years for this battery technology to really be fully realized in these vehicles, to really show the advantages. Maybe that was a bit underwhelming for investors. I mean, we saw how yesterday he tweeted out how it's not going to be really affected until 2022. That dropped the stock after hours. So let me know, what are your thoughts? I mean, again, we're going to dive deeper into Battery Day in another video, a little bit more about the shareholders meeting too. But for me, guys, I can't say I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised that we're selling off here. Again, considering that historically, Tesla, after events, it seems like they've sold off every time. And am I positive that they sold off every time? No, I don't have any official statistic on that, but it just seems like, from my experience, this is normal. So I'm not freaking out. 390, 380, if it holds, this could be an entry point. And another thing that could happen is we might see some sideways trading, which is also very, very a positive sign, quite honestly. And, the stock can't always go up. It can't always go up day after day after day. Sometimes it's going to trade sideways, like it did here from the beginning of July pretty much to the beginning of August. For a straight month, it traded sideways, and we might see that now again. And let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? As always, now let's get into some other stocks here. Fedex is arguably my favorite potential swing at this point in time. And you guys know, most of you know at least, they've reported 2 straight quarters of stellar earnings. They crushed it. Excuse me, guys. They crushed it last quarter. And the most recent quarter, the stock went from 240 to 260. Now it's pulling back down, seeing a bit of profit taking, a bit of cooling off, and we're holding that 50 SMA at a higher low. This is a very, very good sign, guys, and this is exactly what I said the day that they reported earnings. I said, guys, if Fedex cools off, if we see any sort of sell-off, if we maintain the uptrend on any of the moving averages, this is going to be one that I want to get in. And now we're seeing exactly that. Holding that 50 SMA, we're about 8% off of that high at 260, and we're also, if we zoom in a bit on this 10-day chart, we're slowly breaking the downtrend that we've been in the past 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. So watch out for Fedex. This really could be a mover back up to the 250s, 260s. And another one here that I like, a bit more of a stable, kind of quote-unquote boring company, is Johnson & Johnson. This is one that's great for long-term, great for dividends, no doubt about it. I own it in my retirement accounts. I own it in my M1 Finance account, which is the only public account here that I show on my YouTube channel that I built strictly for the YouTube channel, and I'll link that playlist down below if you guys want to check it out. I own it in that. And this one is at a pretty oversold spot, I believe, approaching around 140, mid-140s, and I think this could be a bounce-back play, maybe from the mid-140s back up to, let's say, this resistance at about 148, maybe 150, and if it breaks 150, guys, that is where I think we could see a big move to the upside, maybe back up to the mid-150s. And overall, I mean, you can see the trend here on J&J. It's been sideways, right? Resistance at 155, support at about 140. So I'm interested here as it's getting more towards the bottom of this channel. So if we end up popping, that could be a play for Johnson & Johnson. And NVIDIA here, guys, NVDA is another one where I believe we could run, especially if 505 to 507 breaks. 505, 507 has been a resistance these past couple of trading days and last week. And last time we broke 507, it actually rallied up to about 520. So I'm thinking this could be a tradable range tomorrow, 507 to 520. And obviously, if the markets in general turn around, let's say this is not a bull trap like we said earlier in the video. Let's say the markets come back, they start rallying. If 520 breaks, watch out for NVIDIA. It's that type of stock. It could go off to the races, no doubt about it. And another one here is Starbucks, SBUX. This one's down a good $7 off of those highs back from around $90, back from literally a couple days ago. That opened up around, let's take a look here. I think it's close to about, 5-6% potential for profit. And on the 4-hour chart, we are seeing a double top here at about 90, which is 89.90, which is a little bit worrisome, but we're approaching that low 80 level, which tends to be a support on the stock Also that 180 simple moving average here on the 4-hour chart. So I think low 80s is going to hold for Starbucks, quite honestly. And if it does, that's going to make a sweet swing trade, in my opinion, that could offer about 6 to 8% potential for profit if it gets anywhere from low 80s, 81, 82, maybe back up to, let's say, $90, $89, $90 per share. So watch out for Starbucks. And Caterpillar, CAT, is another one here that is seeing a beautiful uptrend. No doubt about it here on the 4-hour chart. It hit 156. It's pulling down now to about 147. About $10 was shaved off of the stock. About 7% there. And I'm thinking, very simple, if this uptrend holds, if this simple moving average holds at a higher low here, we start to push back up 148, 149, maybe 150. Caterpillar could be a very nice swing trade. And even above 156, guys, we can see, especially on this 3-year chart, I mean, Caterpillar has been under 150, 160 for almost 2 years at this point. And if it gets above that, we could maybe see a move back up to the 170. So keep an eye on Caterpillar. And the last one we're going to talk about today is Beyond Meat. And oh man, did this see a move very similar to Nike's move today, guys. Beyond Meat was up a ton. It went from 148 to 162. That's about a 9% move, so not as big of a move as Nike, but very similar, right? That straight bull green candle that we're seeing here on the hourly, that's what we saw pretty much on Nike as well. But it hit that 162 level, and then it trimmed off $10 for the rest of the day. And now as traders, this is where we can come in and end up buying the dip, end up buying into this weakness. So I like it here at about 150, 155. I think this could be a good opportunity back up to the 160s, but I'm being patient, quite honestly, guys, because I don't want to get caught at about 155 and then it sells off back down to the 130s like we've seen it do before. So I'm being patient, but overall, if we do see that break above 160, that could be a momentum play for Beyond Meat. And that's pretty much it. And again, remember, Tesla, I'm going to go over this in a more in-depth video. We're going to talk about it in these next couple of days. You guys better be prepared for that video. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys did, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to claim your free stock from Webull. Make sure to join our Discord chat. It's free. Make sure to join our Facebook group. It's also free, and all of those are linked right down below in the description box. And just to quickly run through all the stocks we went over today, we talked about Shopify, Apple, Amazon, Workhorse Group, Nike, Tesla, Fedex, Johnson & Johnson, NVIDIA, Starbucks, Caterpillar, and Beyond Meat. So that's it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll catch you all in the next video. And again, don't forget to drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are up to, how the market's treating you. I would love to know. So thanks for watching. Peace out, guys. Good luck in this craziness that we're living through. Peace out.